Duramaxtuner.com presents the 5 most common questions about LML tuning.
The first most commonly asked question we get relates to mileage. Both what mileage I can expect when I buy the truck and what mileage I can expect when I tune the truck. Now you gotta understand from our side, there's just so many variables that play into this. There's the climate you live in, there's your driving style, there's what tires are on the truck, there's are you towing or not, what does your commute look like, right? So all these things play in. Now on a truck that typically gets 15 or 16 miles per gallon, which is pretty normal for a temperate climate, reasonably driven truck, unloaded, wouldn't be uncommon to see another mile per gallon or mile and a half per gallon out of our tuning. Are we gonna promise you that? Of course not. Your driving style, any of those variables that I mentioned earlier can play into that and skew that number. Now where we really see gains in mileage comes in the situation where we can lower the mean operating RPM of the engine. So if you're lightly loaded or you're causing the truck to downshift with a trailer behind it, a situation where we add the tune and we really fatten up that torque curve, we allow you to run in the same higher gear for longer. And when we can allow you to run in the same gear for longer, or run in the higher gear, we can lower the RPM and lower the parasitics on the engine. Anytime we can do that, we can save you fuel. So light loads, with light tow tune or heavy tow tune, typically the best situation for saving you money on fuel. Number 2 commonly asked question we get relates to TCM tuning. So you've read about the ECM tuning, you understand how that works, now you're asking about transmission tuning and how does that affect the way the truck drives. When we build the ECM calibration, we alter the torque curve. So that means that we bring more torque in at lower RPM, we widen the torque curve, we fatten it up, and we also raise the torque curve. So you make more peak torque at most points in the rev range. As you do that, the transmission calibration benefits from being matched to that changed torque curve. So by tuning the TCM, the transmission is able to anticipate the torque load from the engine. As it anticipates the torque load, it can understand what the shift pressure should be. It understands when to downshift. So when you're calling for more torque than the truck can make at that RPM and a downshift is needed, and understand that's different than a stock calibration is, versus a tune calibration. And then the torque converter clutch lockup strategy. So when the torque converter clutch locks up or applies to put that power to the rear tires and really hunker down, give that diesel torque feeling that you're used to on a tuned truck. Setting that up to match the tuned torque curve is something that we can do through TCM tuning only. The third question relates to LSP tuning, or a switchable platform. On the previous model year trucks, we called it DSP. On the LML, it's called LSP. And really what it is an ability to switch between different torque curves depending on what your usage is for the truck. Now you can switch on the fly using the supplied switch. All you have to do is reach down, adjust the dial, and it switches in real time. Now previously on the truck, we required you to stop, turn the truck off, and go through a 1-minute reflash to change the power level. The fourth question relates to deleting emissions equipment. Right, it's the taboo question. It's no secret that in the aftermarket, the ability to delete emissions equipment exists and is available. What I would ask you to do before you consider tuning your truck is to consider the needs that you personally have for the truck and the benefits that you want out of the truck before you decide to delete emissions equipment. By leaving the emissions equipment on the truck, you maintain a quiet truck, you maintain a smokeless truck, you maintain a truck that is in compliance with road laws, so you're not subject to fine by the DOT or anybody on the road, and then resale value. So by resale value, I mean most dealerships will not take a deleted truck on trade. It's also noteworthy that it's much more difficult to undelete a truck than it is to delete a truck. If you drive a truck that's been deleted through a winter, odds are that most of the connectors are corroded to the point where you need to replace all the corroded connectors. So you really narrow your resale market. For most users, I don't see the advantage. Power-wise, you're within 5-7 horsepower, a very small number you would not notice, seat of the pants. We've tested on the dyno, back-to-back, emissions equipped truck versus deleted truck. At the 520, 530 rear wheel horsepower level, it's less than you'd be able to detect in the seat of your pants. As far as overall performance of the truck, drive it first, right? Put a tune on it. Most of the benefits that people who are telling you to delete your truck, most of the benefits you're going to realize from tuning the truck can be realized from tuning without deleting instead of tuning and deleting. The fifth and final question Coming off of this delete discussion comes the warranty discussion. Is tuning going to void my warranty? It really depends on the degree of the warranty work being done. All right, so if you have an axle seal, or if you have a broken spring in your glove box, or if you have a door seal that's leaking, or a battery that's bad, these sort of things are not caused by tuning and are, as such, not relatively sought out, to see if you've had tuning on the truck before they approve a warranty claim. So our experience has been that most guys who have tuned trucks really have no warranty issue when they go to the dealer to have routine things fixed, that is, things that aren't caused by the tuning. What I would do if I were you, talk to the service writer. They'll give you an indication, good or bad, how they lean, and you can make your decision from there. Now understand, if you get to the point where you need a replacement transmission or you have a major catastrophic failure with the truck, however rare, these things do occasionally happen, if you have something like that happen, odds are it's going to be escalated up the chain to regional. If it gets escalated to regional, and they're going to check and see if the truck's ever been tuned, then the odds of a warranty claim being denied are much higher. So there you are, the front and back of it. A little more to the story, a little more gray than black and white. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me answer these 5 commonly asked questions about the LML. We have a lot of time and energy invested in LML tuning and performance, most commonly in our DT520 pack and in our LSP Switchable Tuning for the LML. If you have any questions relating to what we talked about here or about tuning your truck specifically, please give us a call, 815-568-7920, and me and my staff will be happy to talk to you about any of these things. I'm Nick, thanks for watching.
For more information, visit the Diesel Tuners blog located on the web at blog.calibratedpower.com/blog.